In the case about these confidential records that were seized from Mar-a-Lago, without much precedent to rely on, legal experts have said that investigators may turn to past cases with overlapping elements to determine whether Trump violated the law. Legal experts say one example could be the case of former CIA Director General David Petraeus, who pleaded guilty in 2015 to a misdemeanor charge of mishandling classified information. Criminal defense attorney and former homicide prosecutor Bernarda Villalona joins us now with more on the legal aspects of this case. Bernarda, thanks for being here. You know, the Justice Department has indicated now that a grand jury is involved in this case. So what does the presence of a grand jury mean for former President Trump's legal future?
So in regards to a grand jury, what does the grand jury do? The Department of Justice presents evidence to a grand jury and ultimately seeks charges or gives that grand jury the charges for them to make a determination of whether charges should be brought in this case. The grand jury also serves as a fact-finding process in the sense that multiple pieces of evidence and witnesses are called before a grand jury so they can present evidence to that grand jury. There's a lot going on, but the one thing that we do know is that a grand jury is a secret proceeding in the sense that you're not supposed to discuss what goes on into the grand jury, and it can be a while before we know as the public what was presented to the grand jury. But charges may be likely in this case.
How challenging is it to bring charges in a case like this that has very little precedent?
It's very challenging, especially when you're talking about trying to go after the highest position of the country, and that being of the president, especially when you're dealing with the media, when you're dealing with the Republicans and the Democrats. There's so many players that are involved, and you're trying to keep a criminal process separate from a political process. The Department of Justice is trying to do their job, and what they're supposed to do is a fair and impartial investigation and let the evidence lead them where it's supposed to lead them.
And Bernarda, of course, the big question is whether or not the former president will face charges here. But are there other people who could be vulnerable?
Absolutely. President Trump is not the only person that can be vulnerable for charges. We already see that former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani is already being asked to testify in front of a grand jury, and that's scheduled to happen tomorrow. We know that Trump had a lot of vocal pieces out in the public that were delivering his message for him. There's so much still to be investigated, but as we know now, the Department of Justice, and especially the information in that affidavit, there's a lot of information that could shed light to what has happened, but they have to keep it under wraps in order to not compromise the investigation.
All right, Bernarda Villalona, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.